then you wouldn't have a Ukraine war going on. But with all that being said, I think it's bigger. It's bigger than if it were more traditional.
Only the second time in history somebody didn't have consecutive terms.
Yeah. Well, they say it's historically bigger. I don't know about that. But I can say it showed us a couple of things. It showed us that the radical left, their philosophies and policies are horrible. They don't work. You look at crime, you look at what's gone on at the border, you look at what's going to happen to crime. I mean, the crime that's going to happen. But I think we got there just in the nick of time. But we still have you covered better than anybody. We have terrorists in our country by the thousands. We have murderers in our country by the tens of thousands. We have numbers that came out, 11,000 people that murdered are now free and walking around in our country. And of them, I think 48%, they say, killed more than one person, and they're walking around. They came out of jails from other countries. And, people, they've emptied their jails. I would, if I were the president or prime minister or something of another country, I'd empty my jails right into America, into the United States. Why not? And many of them did it. If you look at Venezuela, their crime rate is down now 78% because they took their street gangs and they moved them into the United States. And you're seeing that in Colorado and Los Angeles and other places. And we're going to take care of it.
So did Biden really say to you when you came up to the front of the White House, welcome home?
No, did somebody say
that? I read it somewhere.
I don't know. Maybe he did. I really don't know.
So you left him a letter. It was funny with Peter Doocy, and Peter said, "Oh, Mr. President, did Joe Biden leave you a letter?" He did leave you a letter.
He did.
And you left him one, but you've never disclosed either one of them.
Well, a lot of people...
Now would be a great time.
You know, it was interesting. A lot of people thought it was sort of like a setup with Peter Doocy and myself, and I have a lot of respect for Peter. But he just asked me a question about the letter. And then I remember that, it's like a custom, you leave it right in the drawer of that beautiful desk right alongside of us. And so I opened it up and I actually gave the letter to Peter.
And did he got to read it?
I guess. I haven't.
You don't know if he read it?
I just sent it to him a little while ago.
All right, before we get into this, so much substance. You are inheriting a lot of problems, a lot of things that actually scare me. And I want to get to all of that, but I will get to all of that. They're
all solvable problems.
I agree.
They're all solvable.
Not easy.
With time, effort, money, unfortunately, but they're all solvable problems. We can get our country back. But if we didn't win this race, I really believe our country would have been lost forever.
Were there moments, I mean, when you think of what they threw at you, and I know you signed this declaration about no more weaponization, and we know that the preemptive pardons came up on Joe's way out, but you were facing a civil trial, a criminal trial, conviction, sentencing, Jack Smith, DC, Florida, Fonnie Willis. I mean, you fought through all of that to get back right here in this office. What people don't know is over there's a little red button you push. You scare people. People think it's the nuclear button, but it's really,
something else.
It's you use it for a different purpose. But the question I have was, at any point, did you doubt you would be back here?
So it's a great question. It's something I don't think about. I never really thought about it. I don't think about, gee, will I be back? I just do it. I get it done. I get things done. I'm good at getting things done, and I set my mind to it. As you know, we had a great election in 2016. I had a much better election in 2020. And if I didn't have that election, I wouldn't have run. If I thought that I didn't get the number of votes, and it was reported that I got almost 75 million votes, and that was their numbers. That wasn't the numbers, that was their numbers. That was more than anybody has gotten in history, any sitting president had ever gotten. And you lost. Had I gotten like 50 million, 40 million, or 60 million, I would never have run. But that was like a poll. So, but I had a different attitude. Too big to rig.
Poll came out just in the last 24 hours by Insider Advantage. That's Matt Towery. He nailed 2016, 2020, and 2024. Great pollsters, you know. And He gave you a 56% approval rate.
All right, y'all. Yes, 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 yes. We back in the building with another podcast vlog. And this is Raw Dope Podcast Vlog. And I'm your host, Hand 5000, Fat Hand, Fat Boy, on man time. Listen, there's three people in here, and there's no reason I shouldn't have 3 likes. We gotta start right there. Can't even act like it's a bunch of people that ain't liking. It's 3 people, so it's an intimate session. Bro, like the video. Sis, like the video. Just like the live. It helps out a lot. It gives motivation. Gives motivation when you like the live. But look like it's gonna be a slow night, but I'm in here. So we got Gilly's son Killer on the block. I think it's Joker OTV. I just heard about the guy after he got killed. I don't really know much. I'm gonna get into it. I gotta double back to that King Los freestyle on 106 FM out in LA. What else we got on there? We got Donald Trump, he's back. Project Pat's son was killed. We're gonna get into that. And listen, we tapped in for a while. And you know, if you tapped in and this don't get bigger, hey, this morning, shout out to everybody that tapped in this morning. Shout out to my mod squad there being here. But this morning we almost did 5K. So I'm proud of the numbers that we did this morning. Hey, in the night it might be slow, but guess what? We putting out content because we miss one day. And when I miss one day, I come back and I grind. So I'm back in the building. So right now we listen to Donald Trump. This is one of his first interviews since he's been in office. So I kind of been reporting on Trump to kind of give people an update on what's going on in the global artists and people who voted for Trump and people who didn't vote for Trump. It don't even matter. But overall, is what I'm saying is that I'm just listening to some of the stuff that he's doing. Some of the stuff I agree with, some of the stuff I don't. But that's all presidents and that's all people. You don't agree with everything that they do, but I think he's going to get our economy back on track and more opportunities is going to be given to the citizens of the United States. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I think, once he do this sweep and get people that's out here illegally, no, I don't believe that he should break up families. If your paperwork right and you're supposed to be here, that should be a no flex zone. But if you're not supposed to be here, no, you gotta go. You gotta go. You gotta go. You've been eating off the American soul for too long. And we not benefiting them people who just been here forever. So I understand what he's doing. He's doing a sweep. You know what I mean? You got to sweep the floor before you mop it. And then that'll open up a lot of stores, open up properties, open up a lot of things, open up. Then we get 50% of TikTok. That's on the stock money. Shout out to everybody that play the stock. So everybody got to stop looking at the bad part. The it's President Trump, he's a white supremacist, all this crazy stuff. I don't know none of that. I just know you're a businessman. A businessman handle their business. And he's handling business for the biggest place in the world. And that's the United States of America. And I don't think that he's going to do bad business that's going to fuck over the American people. You get what I'm saying? That's it. He's just a businessman that's going to do good business. It's a fact that we seen him be successful in business. So to have a successful businessman as the president of the United States, 2 things we know. He about his money and he ain't going for no bullshit. You know what I mean? That's the most important in life. Like, he gonna stand on his own too and he gonna chase some money. That's what we all say. We say, man, I'm just getting some money and stand out the way. Fortunately, you got Putin, got a lot of people giving the United States their ass to kiss under the Biden administration. He kind of cleaned that mess up. And maybe it's going to benefit him and his rich friends as it should. But it's also going to benefit the American people. It might not be me or you, but somebody from this country will benefit. And then we just got to work our ass off and do what we got to do and hope it's some tax breaks, hope it's some opportunities in there. You know what I'm saying? This ain't about no COVID money or no relief money. We ain't looking at that. We just looking for opportunities. You know what I mean? Put the press down on these banks and start approving shit. All these backgrounds, all this credit shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Put a smack down to bring the economy back and stop letting these big credit companies and these big companies just squeeze the American people. Then when you call them up, you got foreigners from out the country answering their 1-800 numbers. No, sir. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like the businessman gonna get things in order, bro. It's not about being friends. Most of the people that do good business in your area and thrive in your neighborhood and your community, you don't even see, you don't even talk to. So business people don't play games, man. Business people don't play games, and I just don't believe that the boy is gonna come in there to play games. But I'm gonna play a little bit more from his first interview that he did, and We gonna get into some shit tonight, man. I'm telling you, I'm gonna play that freestyle from Los. The microphone's charged up pretty good, so everything's dope as fuck. So hey, listen, that Los freestyle coming up. We gonna talk about the we're gonna get into the president thing, and we're gonna you got time to comment, got time to hang out. Then we're gonna get into Project Pat. Then we're gonna get into this Joker kid, and then we're gonna get into the fun shit, the freestyle, the music review with King Los on that 106 FM in LA, and we're gonna get busy. So let's listen a little bit to Donald Trump. If you stupid, don't comment. If you smart, listen before you comment and hear him out. And roll up. Roll up.
You also said of Congress, and I had a town hall with members of Congress last night, that 70% of respondents want Congress to unite behind your agenda.
I watched that show. It was a great show, and you had some great people in the background. I know every one of them, and they're really patriots. I just saw the love, as the speaker, who is doing a terrific job. The speaker is answering questions, and I saw the acknowledgement and the love they had. And those are tough people behind him. These are not easy people.
There are others that are tougher.
I said, well, I don't know. This is a tough group if they want to be. They're not, nobody much tougher. But they're very unified. I think they're going to do a great job.
But they have a small majority. You went through over 200 since we've got here. And we have breaking news today that we'll get to in a minute. And especially as it relates to the border and some other issues. But you're going to need to do some of these things legislatively. You will probably play the largest role in uniting them both in the House and Senate. Reconciliation, the Senate has very strict, rules governing how they can do it. Do you one big beautiful bill, two bills? Do you care at this point?
I don't care as long as we get to the final answer. I like the concept of the one bill. I guess I said one big beautiful. That's what everyone first. Actually, it's sort of a nice sound to it. But I do like that concept. It could be something else. It could be a smaller bill and a big bill. Right. But as long as we get to the right answer. Now, I will say that Los Angeles has changed everything because a lot of money is going to be necessary for Los Angeles. And a lot of people on the other side want that to happen. And
North Carolina, too.
Well, they don't care about North Carolina. The Democrats don't care about North Carolina. What they've done with FEMA is so bad. FEMA is a whole other discussion because all it does is complicate everything. FEMA has not done their job for the last 4 years. I had FEMA working really well. We had hurricanes in Florida. We had Alabama tornadoes. But unless you have certain types of leadership, it gets in the way. And FEMA is going to be a whole big discussion very shortly because I'd rather see the states take care of their own problems. If they have a tornado someplace and if they let that state, Oklahoma is very competent. I love Oklahoma. 77 out of 77 districts. And that's never been done before. I did it 3 times. I mean, think of it. 3 times. Never been done. Ronald Reagan had the record 56 out of 77. I got 77 out of 77. So you have to love a place like that. I love Oklahoma. But you know what? If they get hit with a tornado or something, let Oklahoma fix it. You don't need. And then the federal government can help them out with the money. The FEMA is getting in the way of everything. And the Democrats actually use FEMA not to help North Carolina.
It makes no sense.
So I'm stopping on Friday. I'm stopping in North Carolina. First stop.
Yeah.
Because those people were treated very badly by Democrats. And I'm stopping there. We're going to get that thing straightened out because they're still suffering from a hurricane from months ago. And then I'm going to go to California.
Will you meet with Gavin?
I don't know. I haven't even thought about it. Look, Gavin's got one thing he can do. He can release the water that comes from the north. There is massive amounts of water, rainwater and mountain water that comes through with the snow, comes down as it melts. There's so much water, they're releasing it into the Pacific Ocean. And I told him it's a political thing for the Democrats. I don't know.
The tape, you said it to him in front of him in 2018.
I said it to him in front of the media and everything else, and nobody talks about it. The media never picks it up. You put it out. I was so happy to see that tape.
Oh, man, there you go. People tapping in and hitting that like button. I love this.
They have water coming down from the Pacific Northwest. just a lot of water. So much water that they'd have to let some of it go at some point. They don't need reservoirs. They don't need any. They're spending all this money on these reservoirs, and they're fake reservoirs. You know,
But
they're
the
coming.
reservoirs were empty, the hydrants didn't work, and they're not practicing the science of forestry, which
The
is
sprinklers didn't work in the homes because they had no water. Think of it. We had sprinklers. Think of it with no water. They didn't have any water. The
And
fire
that's
hydrants, yeah,
sprinklers.
believe it, hard to believe. The place had sprinklers, it says. But you don't want to lose this office.
Hmm.
By the way, how do you like it?
It's well, I'm glad. It's great to be back. I'm not gonna lie.
You know, I've had the biggest people in the world come here,
Yeah.
and they come into the Oval Office, and they just look, and they want time to look. They're looking around. George
amazing.
Washington, Abraham, Honest Abe.
One day maybe we can do a tour. We had a conversation, and maybe I shouldn't disclose this, but I will. And it was after the 2020 election. And you asked me a question, and we've known each other for 30 years, so we have a friendship and we have a professional relationship. And the question you asked me, maybe in the end it will be better that if I came back.
Well, we at
4 years.
17 minutes. It's time to wake and bake.
And we talked about history. After
Enough with that. We get back to Donald Trump. You know what I mean? I feel real quiet. And my voice a little irritated, but you know, fat guys always saying something. All right, let's get we going. I want to get into Project Pat some first. Some Project Pat. You know what I mean? I'm Project Pat. You know
That's-
what I mean? I'm Project Pat. Sipping on some scissor. Sit. Ballers, we be on some Twinkies. Player haters get found stanky. Chicken fat blunts of that danky. Big diamond rings on our panky. Love Pat. The 3-6 Mafia alumni. Show my man Pat. Let's hear this out.
Create any Project Pat. He actually a few years ago gave us our biggest interview on the channel with almost like 4 million views right now. I want to give a shout out to him. Well, some tragic news coming out of the great city of Memphis, Tennessee. Now, back on January the 10th, we're finding out that Project Pat's son was gunned down and murdered out in, I think, Amanji Heights in Memphis. Now, his son's only 21 years old, and he was shot and was pronounced dead. I'm not sure at the hospital or if it was at the scene. But there's not much more information around. They only got the time of the murder, which was around 1:15 p.m. near Carnegie Park, close to the intersection of Ketchum Road and Long Street. Now, Memphis police said that he, again, passed away right away. Now, these are one of those things where it's this: I haven't seen or heard Project Pat say anything about it. I do know we didn't cover this, but I seen it that he recently, became a pastor. He found the Lord, which is a great thing. You see footage running across the screen in the B-roll there of him, going to the prisons and really just doing, his thing. Out of all the people in the industry, I'm gonna be honest with you, not because he, we got crazy views with an interview when he was talking about Dolph and all that, but simply because he was just he did square business, like just a real stand-up dude. Like some of these people don't respond to you, they act like you don't exist. He responds right away. He's there on time. Like some people you'll get for an interview, and then they show up an hour late. Like you sit in your basement just waiting for them. Like this is business. So I always will speak highly of Project Pat. I'll never forget the interaction,
Yeah,
the powerful
yeah.
interview that we had with him, and I'll link the interview at the end of this video. You guys can check that full interview out that we did with Project Pat a few years back. And my heart hurts. My heart hurts. I don't know any more information about the shooting or anything. I'm not in Memphis. No, never even been to Memphis. But it's definitely, a sad occurrence. Before I was doing the video, I was trying to see if there was any more updates or excuse me, more information to pass along, but there isn't at the time. That's all the information that we have. So once again, my condolences from the family here at Hip Hop News Uncensored for the son Patrick Houston Jr. This is Junior, killed at the tender age of 21, what appears to be a shooting. Hey, if you're in Memphis, shout out to you. Leave a comment below, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.
Dang, Pat. I'm getting all the little vlogs.
Hey friends, today we've got a heartbreaking story coming straight out of Memphis, Tennessee. On January 12th, 2025, around 1:15 in the afternoon, Patrick Houston Jr., the 21-year-old son of rapper Project Pat, was tragically shot and killed. This devastating incident took place near Sharjan Park, specifically at the intersection of Ketchum Road and Long Street in the Imogene Heights neighborhood. It's a community that's now left reeling from this sudden loss. What makes this even more painful is the lack of information about the circumstances surrounding the shooting. As of now, details about potential suspects or motives remain unknown. Memphis Police Department is on the case, but they need our help. If you have any information that could assist in the investigation, please contact Crime Stoppers at 901-528-CASH. Every bit of information, no matter how small, could be crucial. Patrick
Pat, one of my favorite places. Still riding clean, making Jesus get my dick sucked. Still making Jesus ride clean and get my dick sucked. You say you's an old nigga, fuck with your boy. You gonna make a nigga like me catch a charge. I love Pat. Hey, Rick, I love Pat. Pat, my guy. Pat was the hardest one in 3-6 Mafia. Let's talk about that. Project Pat was the hardest nigga in 3-6 Mafia. Word the mother. He was the hottest nigga in 3-6 Mafia. Pat was deadly with the Pat was a ABC flow to us up here, but it was just like the hardest ABC flow that you ever could hear. Like Pat was getting straight. It's like Pat was talking that shit, and you heard every word. You know what I'm saying? For the way he rapped, you got to hear every adjective, noun, and verb, and you understood exactly what he was saying, man. Love Pat, bro. I've heard this had to happen to his son, though, bro.
Rapper Project Pat's son, Patrick Houston Jr., fatally shot at 21 in Memphis. Patrick Houston Jr., the 21-year-old son of renowned Memphis rapper Project Pat, was tragically killed in a shooting on January 10, 2025. The incident occurred in the Imogene Heights neighborhood of Memphis. According to reports from Memphis police, officers responded to gunfire near Ketchum Road and Long Street around 1:15 p.m. Upon arrival, they discovered Houston Jr.'s body near Sharjan Park. Despite a thorough investigation, no arrests have been made, and authorities have yet to release additional details regarding the circumstances of the shooting. Police are urging anyone with information to contact Crime Stoppers at 901-528-CASH. Patrick Houston Jr. was the son of Patrick Earl Houston, better known as Project Pat, a pioneering figure in Southern hip-hop. Project Pat rose to fame in the late 1990s as a member of the Memphis-based Hypnotized Minds label, founded by his brother,
I'm on YouTube. I'm
Juicy
about to play,
J
I'm about to play
3-6
Tattoo
Mafia.
Tears, yo.
His 2001 album,
I'm
Mr.
on
Don't
YouTube
Play,
Live.
Everything's Working,
Yeah, just hit
featuring
that link
hits
I
like
sent you.
Chicken
Click
Head
on it.
and Don't Save Her,
I'll
catapulted him
too.
to national fame,
I
peaking
got
at
you,
number
shout you
4
out.
on the Billboard 200 and earning a gold certification from the RIAA. Over the years, Project Pat has released several successful albums, cementing his legacy in the music industry. Patrick Houston Jr.'s tragic death has sent shockwaves through the Memphis community and the music world. Friends and fans have expressed their condolences to the Houston family during this heartbreaking time. A visitation for Patrick Houston Jr. is scheduled for Saturday, January 25th at MJ Edwards Funeral Home, Stage Road Chapel in Memphis from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. A celebration of life service will follow at 12:30 p.m. with interment at Memphis Memory Gardens. The investigation into the shooting remains ongoing, and authorities continue to seek leads. Our thoughts are with the Houston family as they mourn the devastating loss of their loved one.
Join me in looking.
Rest in peace to Project Pat son, y'all. Hey, listen, man, I want to take the time out right now, man, and shout out my brother. He just came home from prison. You know what I'm saying? My man Haas just did 20 years in the slammer, man. Welcoming that brother home in the early 90s. I mean, I said the 90s, shit was so long, but even like the end of the 90s and the early part of the 2000s, we was a part of a record label called Street Official Records. And you know what I'm saying? It was Haas and Pistol, it was Easy Street, it was Real to Real, it was Talar, and it was me and Lil Lee. You know what I'm saying? It was me and Lil Lee. And even though I was rest in peace to Lil Lee, even though I was way older than Lil Lee, I was way older than Lee, you know, a few years older than Lee. You know what I'm saying? We was like the underdogs. But I was a nice motherfucker in it. But I just didn't master the art of writing music. And my man Haas, he could really write music. He could really write good music. When he write the music, I used to love his flow. You know what I'm saying? He was like what he calling out that G Unit shit back then. But the brother did 20 years in prison, man, and came home still mentally stable. You get what I'm saying? So I just want, if y'all fuck with me in the chat, the 7 people in the chat, you know what I mean? Just drop some love down the hill. But I'm gonna play one of his old songs. Old song from back in the day. You know what I'm saying? One of the songs that he dropped. It was all on the radio. You know, back then we had a DJ by the name of DJ Nelly Nell. He never played like local shit unless it was a smash. And I remember he came over with this tape called Goodfellas Tape. He played Tattoo Tears. Like we was going crazy. You know what I'm saying? We was going crazy. We was going crazy. So I'm gonna play this track and y'all just tell me if you like the track, just put Welcome Home in the chat. You know what I'm saying? It's just all love, man. And then, by the way, we just tapping that. Well, I got 8 people in here. 8 people like the video. I love y'all. Tap, man. And it's just Baltimore music, though. You know what I mean? But I got to play this joint. And this joint dropped years ago. This joint dropped 20 years ago. Oh, shit. That shit dropped like this. Welcome home, House. Times got me stressing, blowing purple just to ease the brain. Surrounded by gangsters, ain't no way to public to my bank. Game will never change, oh boy, will it never stop since I was 13. The only plans I had was running blocks.
Stuffing dogs and cops to get this money in my hand. Saying a lot of so scope.
Messed me up when I lost my man.
Now I'm riding on revenge, dressed in a black man's getting Tim's. I told ya,
I'ma find you and remind you it's your time to meet the pearly gates. Murder on my mind, 2 choppers in your face.
I've been this way since young and bagging them onions on the gate. Your broke ass can't get their own, so all they do is hate. To them hollers, just crack your bones. You should have played it safe. Now your mommy cry waterfalls, preparing for your weight.
Easy street gang, that's what we rapping state to state.
Take the razor from under tongue and cut your this my tattoo tears for homies who ain't there. My soldiers that ride out, we don't do no palm dance.
As long as I'm still here, you live. As long as I'm still here, you live. This my tattoo tears for homies who ain't here. My soldiers that ride out, we don't do no palm dance.
As long as I'm still here,
That's 20 years ago, Baltimore music.
as long as I'm still here, you live. Yo, you owe me the baby, baby. You play me the blocker, no love for the undercovers who hate you a bunch of suckers. You know them guys official, hide the pistols, not to hit you. You won't be lonely, see your mama with you. You're my soldiers, right behind you. When they find you, your body floating with them people going fishing. This is real talk, sucker. Hope you pay attention, homicide is the consequences of plotting on my henchman. Lost body got 10 years, clapping at some chick and starting facts as well. They turned shade and started snitching, had me locked up in city jail. Working in the kitchen now, I'm home with these cows running. That's my tattoo tears for homies who ain't there. My soldiers that ride out, we don't do no palm dance. As long as I'm still here, you live. As long as I'm still here, you live. This my tattoo tears for homies who ain't here. My soldiers that ride out, we don't do no palm dance. As long as I'm still here, you live. As long as I'm still here, you live. And yo, my soldiers, we came, we fought and fall victim against the fall, and we missed them when angels call. We go with them when papers no longer with us. It ain't just a ball of image, the difference, your whole appearance, and all of your sisters flipping. The homies you hung with, the homies you slung with, the ones you came up with. School free lunches, but they don't hold no grudges. They take it and take it out on these buses and make them suffer. So I'm coming out the hole like a muffin, and the plucker did more than bluff it. He ducked it for caught another, deducted from all his brothers, abducted like flying saucers and puffing. The lions part of the jungle, the irons fought for the muffle. The crime starts with a couple fly in and out of the body. The tears of the ones that love you, the nerve of this coward plotting. The fears of a soldier dying, the third of a soldier's trouble. We sipping the beers, we buying, we murking the kids that bust you. We copy the fish, we dying, we learn from a different hustle.
Two tears for homies who ain't here. My soldiers that ride out, we don't do no poor beds. As long as I'm still here, you live. As long as I'm still here, you live. This my tattoo tears for homies who ain't here. My soldiers that ride out, we don't do no poor beds. As long as I'm still here, you live. As long as I'm still here, you live. Ride out, ride out, ride out, we 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 ride out.
What y'all like? Y'all like that track? Y'all like that track right there, man? Welcome home to my man Haas. Welcome home to my man Jay. Welcome home to my man Barry, man. Boys just came from their tour. You know what I'm saying? These prisons are tours. Like you going overseas. Them brothers is home now. Them brothers is focused, and them brothers is here to win. But hey, that's what I got. So now I got to get into it. Now, at the time, it's crazy because I just played the Haas joint right there, Tattoo Tears. Listen to me. I was in the studio that night. It was like the weed hours of the morning. You know what I'm saying? It was weed hours of the morning. I was sleeping in the studio in the chair. You know what I'm saying? And he was doing the first. And I remember him just the first hard times got me stressing, blowing purple just to ease the pain. Surrounded by wanksters, ain't no gangsters pumping in my vein. You know what I'm saying? His voice slowed up. And I was there that night. And then the shit turned out to be a banger, bro. Turned out to be a banger. Because I remember the other nigga, the pistol, the middle verse. I remember him coming doing that the next day. Like I remember him doing that the next day, man. That Tattoo Tears was the one. It was just a fucking classic hit, bro. And I'm mad as shit because Tattoo Tears, they had that shit on vinyl. It was on vinyl. I was just so hurt that I just never got the vinyl. If I could ever find a vinyl, I would pay like $300-400 for that vinyl. That vinyl was vicious, like that vinyl. That's when niggas was still listening to vinyl. That shit hard. But check out that Brazil shit. You know what I'm saying? I like all hip hop. You know, man, Brazil and all them countries, they more like reggaeton, right? You know what I'm saying? I get it. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with reggae music. I grew up off reggae music for shit sure. But, you know, again, welcome home to Oz. Welcome home to my man Jay. Boys did a long ass time in prison. They back. But it's another artist from the same neighborhood that was in that same Street Official studio recording. We about to do a review on his shit. And if you follow me on Instagram or anything, I posted it all on there. And this man went crazy. I'm going to play this again. This shit is ridiculous. This shit I'm about to play for y'all is ridiculous. This shit is ridiculous. This is my treat.
Let's get it. The moment y'all been waiting for. It's been 5 years since my brother touched down in the booth. Just Incredible's freestyle series. King Los.
Let's get it, baby.
Ooh, the God is here, baby.
6 years.
6 years?
It was 2019.
Damn.
But it was the end of the year, so like 5 and some change.
And now we're kicking off a brand new year, 2025, baby.
2025 sounds crazy, right?
Ooh, let's go.
Year. King Los is here with the
Baltimore.
You know what type of time.
Let's go, y'all. Let's go.
Go time, baby.
Let's go.
Come on.
Listen, I can't wait till social media die and what's real start to expose all the secrets and lies, baby. You never had a man look you deep in your eyes. Some feminine ass nigga told you he was the prize. Look, what he meant to tell you is he was the prize. When they replaced masculinity with healers and pride, hedonistic sexual fantasies and demons that slide. The coroner said he could hear spirits screaming inside. See, his whole life his mama told him daddy wasn't shit. Cause he gave that nigga pussy Then that pussy niggas. Now she a single mama out here pushing pussy and she pissed. And if you pussy like your papa, they might push you in the dick. Nigga, you ain't pushing P, you push, you click. You don't push it to the limit, niggas push you click. I push a button, call a click. They be pushing in them clips. I had my twins causing malice like I'm pushing from the clip. I signed my first record deal, my clique was pushing bricks. I was mastering vocals, but they was good with the mix. My engineer was dope, yeah, we was cooking that shit. So when my fans start fiending, I get them good with a fix. I was finishing my album, that's when everything switched. Took a tragic turn, they kidnapped my CEO's chick. Now in the streets, that usually means internal conflict. Type shit make you go from Conrad to convict, from G-code to street code to code red and palm shit. That Parmesan make Peter rock Paul and palm shit. But back to the nonsense. This is it. Okay. One step away from my dream. Shit was lit. Let's do it. But the fans hit the drop on them boys to hit the lick. How you backdoor your main homies and flip the script? Fast forward, now we back in the city on different shit. Where they lay low and give halos with extended clips. Nice. Got a call from the label that I did the business with. They said the fans came a knocking, but we ain't witness shit. But you know we gotta drop you. That's how the business get. I'm sure you make it out someday through your penmanship. Shit will click. Hello? I ain't even get the vent. Heart fell down in my stomach. I'm sick as shit. Speaking of sick, my nigga, picture this. In the trunk is where they found her body. She was in the... This how I know I was sent here. Hold on, wait, that was her name. Sent here. Marty, when I seen it on the news, I was in tears. Plus, I was stuck back in my hood for 6 years. Thinking all I need is one more dance. Then
The big label that dropped me gave me one more chance.
You must be ready to die, so you might rap the best. Bitch, I'm Biggie out the grave. This my life after death. Did not pass the test around and let y'all copy. Rappers won't say my name, but I bet y'all watch me. Labels back you, you flex all cocky. They had to buy your chemistry, so you won't be my next autopsy. Dissect that. I elect my dialect, make my pupils dilate. I'm like the butterfly effect, study the shuttereye effect. Look, when life is buffering, like how do I connect? And I'm a symbol looking in that pond, how do I reflect? Niggas I son but won't see me, like how do I reflect? When they lying and everybody following them birds. Ask Mufasa, nigga, you can die from what you heard. Shit get hostile in the purge. My delusion got me out of the hood. So at this point, using logic is absurd. The watchers of the earth chanted mantras to manifest my existence and had a galactic conference at my birth. We a sentient being told me that consciousness is a curse. She was right. I could always see the nonsense in reverse. And then the darkness it get worse. They put so much money on that boy here, that nigga had sponsors on his shirt. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here to...
He said they put so much money on that boy head, he had sponsors on his hearse.
Hip-hop, the fake algorithms and streams that make your shit pop. I'm flayed with the big clock, but you niggas got the rope around your neck and can't survive without the...
Ooh, he going crazy. You already know.
He
Wow.
nasty. This King Los,
Yes,
Baltimore.
Every word of it's my story.
It's a story that needs to be told.
Come on, man.
You can see why he's your favorite rapper's favorite rapper. You know, I'm
What we
gonna go 2 for 2. I want to drop another beat,
What
man.
we doing?
It's a new year. You ready?
2025, what we doing?
Hey, this is a beat I always wanted to hear you go crazy on, man. Let's drop that shit. Let's get it. Ooh.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What up,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell the story.
Okay.
Listen.
Come on.
Now Paulie was piping Paula, cause Paula Papa the plug. Got Paulie peeling the porch, pushing all the popular drugs. Paula just purchased, her body perfect, she perky. She drop an addy, pop an addy, follow it with a perky. Get brain like a scholarship, she swallow dick with a purpose. Paulie be popping pistols out, tinted out white Suburbans. Push up on a nigga, then hop up out of it like a burpee. Flow so cold, I got it in flavors. This bitch is... Now Justin, these rappers is writing this down as they adjusting to wear my flow like a costume and say it's custom. They call each other private on solid with no discussion. If it's one thing they all agree on, it's don't discuss them. Every day a rapper discovered that I'm disgusting. Wrap himself up in the covers and go to sleep in discomfort. If he even had a dream, he put on my sneakers and scuffle me. Better wake up and buff him, apologize to the public. Look, I'm a shoe-in, don't sneak a diss on the subject. Defeats increases, I keep kicking this rough shit. And the bitches love it, cause him a rich nigga, like an aneurysm rupture. They say, damn it, nigga, hush it. Don't jam this shit with substance, you go viral. If you say some shit the algorithm fuck with, you write, kill slide, murder, death, thrill ride, pop pills, fuck bitches, praise money to feel fly, smoke on hot packs, spinach block, pop back. Wait, stop that. Okay. And you still die? That shit sound real high. My house in the hills high, that mean my bills high, and my spouse love the hills high. When I was capping pills, I lived in a dope dream. That means living in a broke dream. Okay. Look, now it's icy on the wrist. Okay. Only VVS. Never CSIs. Ain't no IT on the wrist. No. Young wavy motherfucker. Tread lightly on the bitch. Just open the DM. I think your wifey on my... As soon as I red head, she ice spice me in the whip. Only need her eyes and mouth. I put a shicey on the bit. And look, she a shicey little bitch. And you a motherfucking trick pussy. She a lesbian and you a motherfucking lick. Why y'all making me do this? Yeah, you a lick pussy. I'll leave your face in a tooth.
Come on, man.
Basically foolish, man. I said it myself.
Yeah.
It sucks being this good. I get ahead of myself. I said, look, they scared to death. I hear they breath, they shook. My peers are stressed round here. Your breath get took.
Okay.
They peers gon' step cause chest to chest they rooks.
What else?
I see in your flesh. They fear the chef they cook.
Mm.
They almost had me pissed. My leakers ain't you lying ass ashy bitch. This scoop. They super red. Don't ask me shit. Just know in the end I'm cooking up some nasty shit. Look, talking about cake.
Okay.
But you barely getting some. That strap on my shoulder.
Okay.
Bitch, you better get you one. Talking all that fake shit. Nobody even here. Heard they ran you off your block. And you can't even go back there. Where you came from. Day to day. These bitch niggas start something else. Hey, they be working my nerves. Hey, Lord knows I can't fuck these birds. I've been through. My city's still so beautiful. We don't let snitches come around, cause that'll get pistols aimed at you, and you can get hurt in Baltimore. Hey,
What up? Let's do it, man.
you be talking that street shit.
Talking.
Hey, that gangsta this, gangsta that, but all that cap ain't working now. We might have to murk him now. He think we can't touch him now. I make one call and they'll crush him.
Blackout.
Bitch, I'm from the block. The niggas bake soft in the tan. Cook whole pies and break them bitches off in the grams. That mean I heard it all before like it was part of my plan. Till I got sunshine and it's in the palm of my... Look, my shit is exquisite. My vision is different. You can physically visit my mental state and pick an exhibit. Quit the bull, I'm unequivocal. The lip of a critic can never diminish nor disseminate my mission. Delivered in minutes. I administer that of a minister mixed with a menace. Nigga, mind your business. They be trying to mimic the science of the defiant chemist. Reverse engineer my craft and you can find the remnants of the highest penman. You biased liars, you know I'm perfect, never find a blemish. My flow mirrors cocaine, but every line is endless. Now dive up in it. It can open portals. My life story is a giant helping hopeless mortals with no good morals. With all the cycles I've broken for you, you still revert to your earthly ways, being so disloyal. I'm underwhelmed by your presence, bitch. It's over for you. God said he made me the king, and kings put no thrones before you. How could your clones destroy you? Why would you rock with them niggas that's throwing stones towards you and hoes that don't support you? They want me cashed out. I see it through to address it, and it's a glass house.
Yeah.
Fuck it, let's crash out. I'm the only real living legend. Ain't take no fast routes, nigga.
Crash out. Yo, King
Yeah.
Los.
For the
That's
win.
what we doing?
For the win.
Winning team in here.
For the win.
Hold up.
For
Hey,
the win.
King Los, that's what you came to do tonight?
For the
Say,
say, hey.
Los burnt that shit. What y'all got to say? I'm numb. You goddamn right I'm numb. He burnt that shit, bro. He burnt that shit. God almighty. He burnt that shit, bro. That was first degree murder. That was first degree murder. He burnt that shit, bro. Like he burnt it. He burnt it. He burnt it. I am honestly gonna say he killed that. 2025 freestyle. He came out, he killed that straight up and down, bro. I can't even joke with you or act like he didn't do that. King Los murdered that track. That shit was fire, bro. That shit was real fire, bro. I can't even knock you. Hey, bro, you came with that heat rock. That heat rock was heat rock. I'm not gonna lie, best freestyle of 2025. I haven't heard no freestyles in 2025. And if it is some, send them to me. But that nigga killed that shit, bro. He killed that shit, bro. He killed that shit, bro. He killed it. He killed it. Lord Ali, no, he killed it. You know what I mean? He killed it, bro. He killed it, bro. Like, and that's that part of more flow. And I told Los, that's where we need you at. That's where you gotta be at and everything. You gotta go in with that. You get what I'm saying? You gotta go in with that. You gotta say that shit for the album, that other shit. But like far as these freestyles and bar shits, I be telling dudes like when you drop something hard like that, you gotta come every week. I just feel like Los should just come every week until March, until he drop his first mixtape, and then till like the spring when he's coming with the album. Like I feel like it's a good setup, mixtape then album. But the freestyles, you can never go wrong with that. Because niggas will start getting booked for freestyles. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like, dude, when you drop one, you just got, I feel like you drop one, you try at least do four. You just got to give them four of them. You just got to come back to back to back to back. You got to. When you come back to back to back, to me, it just create a buzz. And then when you come back to back to back, it just open them up for the mixtape. You open them up with the mixtape, then you come back to back for more of them joints. Then you open them up with the album, and then you should be busting a roll down after that. Then you worry about visuals and you know what I'm saying, touring and shit like that. But until then, definitely just gotta worry about just keep delivering them fucking bars because we so used to the auto tunes, we so used to different things in hip hop that we can never get back to the basis of hip hop. Like hip hop is too pretty, so I like those artists that get dirty. You know what I'm saying? To get their hands dirty, get their Marys dirty, get their chain with a little bit of blood on it. You know what I'm saying? We love spitters. You know what I'm saying? If you're a true hip hop head and you're a true fan of the culture, you love somebody that can just spit, just rap. Like that's the coolest thing about it. And bro do that. You know what I'm saying? He did that. On both of them beats, you can't say he ain't burnt it. He burnt it, bro. He burnt every mile a minute. He burnt it, man. Hit that notification button. It's 5 people in the chat. Get this video up to 10 likes. Need this video to push through the algorithm. Most definitely need this video to push through the algorithm. These are not my numbers. I'm on the morning shit. So, hey, but I'm going to be back in the morning. It don't matter. But I'm staying tapped in with y'all for a minute. So let's get into the guy that's allegedly accused of killing Gilly the King's son. Now, Gilly the King's son was murdered a little while back. And, you know, me personally, I don't look for drama and I don't look for negativity. So in my eyes, it kind of breezes through. I know Gil, Wallow, and them never forgot their deceased person at all. That's a 25-year-old boy, still a kid in a lot of us older people's eyes. You know what I mean? His life was just beginning. And his life was cut short. Whatever the reason may be, I don't know. But what's going crazy on the internet and Google and all of the social media apps, except for TikTok, it's about this kid Joker, a student that scored the highest in his SAT, a basketball player, a kid that had a bright future. You know what I'm saying? But this kid, you know, that had a bright future, still hung out, and that's a lot. I went to school, got good grades, but you know what I'm saying? I changed my school clothes and went outside. You know what I'm saying? I was engaging in things that my classmates ain't know about. But unfortunately, allegedly, this kid was involved in some wild shit and this wild shit got him murdered at his house in front of his mother. I heard he was shooting back. I don't know. I wasn't there and I didn't really cover it. So, like, you know, sometimes Rado podcast, vlog, sometimes I have 5,000 just late with the news. You know what I mean? I get a lot of 75%. I drop it hot. You know, once I see everybody got in this vlog and crazy, I'll let it die down, then I'll pick it up. You know, regardless of what numbers it do, I just want to get my opinion on it. So I'm about to play it. If this kid it did do this, you know what I'm saying? You reap what you sow out here. You know what I mean? That's why I say sometimes the streets hold court. And you know what I'm saying? And in the streets, you you hurt somebody, people, you're gonna pay for it. And that was tough. You know what I mean? Whatever happened, and then he's young. I don't think he's no older than 18 years old. So he was like 7 years older than Yo Gilly's son. So whatever they had going on, it's like, damn. You know what I mean? Going to college would have probably been a big deal out of Philly and would have probably been, if, you know, I'm quite sure Gilly's so busy working, he doesn't know nothing about this crazy stuff. You know, I'm quite sure like Gilly on sports. So it was like, whoa, the world different because, you know, Gilly do sports. He covered basketball is shit. Football and basketball is his shit. So, you know, I'm quite sure he probably heard of Shorty or knew Shorty, but probably had no clue that this kid was allegedly involved in, the tragedy, death of his son. So the world is crazy, especially when God allowed you to get older. When God allowed you to get older and see certain shit, you realize how real you see yourself in these youngsters, and you realize how much you was moving wrong, and you have a guilty conscience. Then it kind of like put a pain in your heart that you can't explain unless you've been in the streets and you just driving past and seeing how the streets is. This is like terrible, and you just can't believe that you was a part of that. But I guess that's a part of growth. But anyway, Shorty, you know, he paid the ultimate price for this, and it was tragic. And he lost his life. So let's get into it. And again, man, rest in peace to Project Pat's son. But this kid, yep, here it is. So we ready to listen to what he got going on. Mm-mm-mm. Like this video, y'all. Like this video.
Golden homicidal drill artist by night. Noah Scurry, aka Joker OTV, might just be a prime example of book smarts not equaling street smarts. I don't think there's a single time where I've seen the tale of two cities unfold in the most crash out way possible. A genius apparently in the classroom and straight autistic with the Glock on the internet. Brud straight got a music video with like 10 Glocks with buttons stuffed in a refrigerator door like month-old popsicles. You know, navigating the underworlds of the North Philly drill scene, he became infamous for claiming reg for the son of one of Philly's biggest names, Gilly the Kid.
Triple shooting in Philadelphia's Olney section claimed the life of an up-and-coming musician. The 25-year-old rap artist was known as Young Cheese, and he's the son of well-known influencer Gilly the King.
Brud had to take his crash-out talents into music, but his ops were not having it. He unfortunately dropped one song and didn't even make it a week before the ops caught him lacking. While his story came to a surprising and bloody conclusion, the nation was captivated by his lore through TMZ articles and blog posts. Honestly, it was hard for anyone to wrap their head around how a 17-year-old basketball star and student athlete could meet his demise in a cold morning in January. However, when you look at the story of the beast surrounding him, the story that led up to putting these YouTube videos dissing the ops up, the story that many believe ties him to the murder of none other than YG Cheese, everything starts to make more sense. So today, we're going to talk about the beat that took out Joker OTV, aka Noah Scurry, one of North Philly's brightest prospects who threw his life away for no reason at all. We got to get into it right now, but before we do, gang, I'm going to need you to tap in, man. Check the link in the description for the merch, hit that notification bell so whenever I post, and make sure you like, comment, subscribe. We're on the road to 100K subs. I know we can get it probably just off this video alone. See those memes about YNs and how they be ready to catch a hat or the most minor of inconveniences. While it would be a lie to stereotype and say every YN is on that type shit, there's no doubt in my mind that if you box anyone in a dog-eat-dog environment, they're gonna adapt to their cage to survive. North Philly is one of those places. The type of places that could turn an average bull on the block into a stray demon by the company that keep around them. While this seems unique to just Joker OTV, this is actually by design, with the government intentionally making Philadelphia one of the most segregated cities in the nation. You ever wonder why Philly is so bad for real? Yeah, Philly is in the northeast, but the government was straight plotting for decades to keep black people in their own little areas with this racist policy called redlining. Basically, TLDR, it all dates back way before Joker or Lil Uzi or Meek Mill, back to the 1930s. At the time, mad southern black folks started moving to Philadelphia to get better jobs, which they ended up doing. And North Philly was not actually a bad area to live in. Back at those times, it was a primarily an affordable white neighborhood in the city, so many black people back in the day started setting up shop there, you know, having families and living there, owning houses. Those white people that lived there then moved out in droves because they saw their neighborhoods getting more diverse. The government wasn't really vibing with that, so they intentionally didn't allow any black people to have mortgages if they lived in any other parts of the city besides the north and the west. At the same time, the Great Depression had been going in full steam, and the federal government began allowing white homeowners to refinance their houses to stop the foreclosures and people losing their houses. But they didn't do that for the black population living in these areas. Mix that with mad industrial jobs leaving the city throughout the 20th century, and you got an extreme hotbed of crime that has been brewing for almost 100 years. You got America's sixth largest city with over 1.6 million residents having a higher murder per capita rate than Chicago, the third biggest city that's almost 2 times the size of Philly. And smack dab in the middle of this war zone, where crash out stack up bodies like Jenga towers, you got gangs fighting over control, get backs, and in this environment, you got where Joker OTV grew up. You see, Joker OTV, aka Noah Scurry, was an infamous shooter from the Feltonville area in the northeast section of Philadelphia. Being from this area, he was no stranger to drills, death, and gang violence growing up. However, one thing that was pretty remarkable was despite all this going around, he still apparently took school and basketball seriously, even though he wasn't in the best school environment. Living in this area though, ago, he joined a group of shooters, most likely for protection against the craziness in North Philly. But that was probably his downfall. He ended getting close with a gang from the close by Frankfurt neighborhood called Parkside, also known as CC or Certified Clappers or just Frankfurt. By this point, around the time in the pandemic, he apparently started causing mayhem in the city, as everyone that was around him was most likely doing that too. And in doing so, his gang ended up being dragged into a crazy beat that could play a role in how he was gunned down just a couple days ago, which we'll get into in chapter 2, MT4. While North Philly is kind of a large area, it seems that all the gang politics is intertwined with each other because a large swath of gangs are posted just blocks away from each other. I mean, I wouldn't even call them gangs, they're more cliques, just groups of people that happen to have hella guns and switches and just a mentality ready to just murk people. Pair this with limited resources and generations of givebacks, and you're looking at the reason why the murder rate has risen to unprecedented levels. I mean, fortunately in 2024, it was down compared to other years, but before that, it was straight mayhem. Parkside was no stranger to having a lot of problems throughout the city, but one of the most notable was their issue with the gang M24 from the only neighborhood just north of Philly. You see, M24 is a recognizable gang having ties to some pretty big rappers like D12 and close ties to YG Cheese, the son of Gilly the Kid. M24 getting their name from the neighborhood they rep and only being around the Masher and Nedro, 2nd and Champ, Lost, and 4th Street. Put it together, you got M24. At the same time, younger members from that area were tied into them. We're repping a clique of YNs called Fast Break, based in the same area on the northern border at 65th Ave and Old Guns. They have a close ties to M24. Not much is known about Fast Break besides the fact that they are mad young, mad crazy, and get their name for, quickly shooting people. Things have gotten so bad that the DA of Philadelphia, Larry Krasner, had a whole press conference on one rainy day last year in a basketball court to announce that he planned on taking down Fast Break after they had been reportedly involved in the shooting of Philly's psycho grave robber YBC Duel.
Basketball court in Olney. DA Larry Krasner reports he's charged a 16-year-old with the killing of 2 and the wounding of others as part of a shooting group known as Fast Break. A small group of young people in the city of Philadelphia made a decision to hold a gun, to point a gun at another human being and pull the trigger. The alleged teenage shooter is Aiden Waters. The DA says he's the killer of 25-year-old rapper Abdul Vix in a shooting on the 5500 block of North Fairhill Street in...
Despite that whole crazy beat that I talked about, Fast Break and M24 have a long-standing feud with Parkside, with Parkside members having public disputes in court to just general dissing for years. These groups have been at odds for a minute. However, things would go completely left when a notable associate of M24 would be gunned down surprisingly one night just several years ago. And that was the shooting that took out Gilly the Kid's son that we mentioned earlier, YG Cheese.
We're trying to piece together what led to a shooting in Olney that left 1 man dead, 2 other people injured. It happened around 8:30 tonight at Masher Street and Nedro Avenue in Olney. Police say a 25-year-old man was killed. 2 other men are in stable condition. No one was arrested.
Devin Spady, aka YG Cheese, was a notable personality and known throughout the city due to his dad's rise to fame with one of the biggest hip-hop platforms really on the planet, $1 million worth of games. But when Gilly the Kid was getting $100 million deals with Barstool, his son was wanting to be in the trenches. One summer night in 2023, though it seemed like the trench living eventually had ended up catching up to him. YG Cheese had been posted up with M24 members on the 5800 block of Masher Street. Little did he know, several masked gunmen were plotting on the group. Many point to this incident being a case of mistaken identity, being at the wrong place at the wrong time. But the shooters were looking for blood and came upon a Mercedes that had been still running with 3 people posted upside. Apparently, Cheese had just stepped outside for 2 seconds, but that's all it takes, a second, to get caught lagging, and it was too late. The shooters caught him by surprise, and the group sprinted. All 3 of them would get hit, but 2 of them would manage to get away. However, YG Cheese, aka Devin Spady, wasn't so lucky. He got shot in the back in the process of running and unfortunately died at the scene before medical personnel could get there. Off rip, that was a crazy situation, but apparently it would be this chain of events that 2 years later would apparently result in the death of the kid that we know as Joker OTV. And I'll explain how right now, apparently how it went down in chapter 3, Real Joker. Man, it's no secret that Joker OTV, aka Noah Scurry, had major issues with members of Fast Break because bro made it his mission to make it the most federal and self-snitching beef that you can imagine. Honestly, I probably haven't seen blatant disregard for posting online since people like Bloodhound Lil Jeff at this level. This is honestly crazy. Since Joker
OTV's death, numerous videos have surfaced like an IG story of him beating up 2 members of Fast Break in broad daylight, on top of his many claims that a recent Fast Break member named Fat Dave, who was killed in broad daylight, was a result of Joker. But the craziest, most self-stitching moment would probably have to be his song that he dropped with Dredge Season called Swing My Doors. Bro, I shit you not, this is the most buttons I've ever seen on one place on camera. Bro literally says in the song, he came out the beat, now he'll never come back again. Seemingly, people believe mentioning the situation with YNG Cheese literally in the song. It's crazy though, because he doesn't show his face at all throughout the video, and many believe it could have been his way of avoiding snitching on himself, or college basketball scouts seeing his online activity. But either way, it didn't really matter because the ops were able to find his location and ultimately became his downfall, which we'll talk about anyone young and in the streets, that at the end of the day, you're probably going to get murdered if you keep going on that path. And if you already don't that took out Joker is honestly scarring because it happened right in front of his mother.
Teenager is gunned down in an alleyway behind his home. Noah Scurry is being remembered for his performance both in the classroom and on the basketball court. Games have now been canceled for the rest of the week as the school community mourns his death. It is Tuesday afternoon. I'm Sarah Bloomquist.
And I'm Brian Taft. The big story on Action News tonight is the search for whoever killed Noah Scurry this morning. The 17-year-old shot and killed right in his Feltonville neighborhood.
At around 7:15, Noah Scurry was getting ready to go to school. Him and his mom had just gotten out of the house, and she was going to drop him off at school so he wouldn't have to take the bus. However, just as he was unlocking their doors to get in, masked gunmen jumped out of a white SUV and shot multiple shots in their direction, hitting Scurry multiple times before speeding off. First responders pulled up to a chaotic scene of people grabbing onto his seemingly lifeless body, and they scooped him up and took him to a nearby hospital. Unfortunately, they did not make it in time and he succumbed to his injuries. Man, this whole situation is super crazy. Imagine going to sleep at 9 p.m. the night before just to wake up at 6, scope out someone's crib and just try to murk them. Imagine really being that crazy that you be gunning people down first thing in the morning at 7 a.m., bro. You have to be a complete lunatic. And to his mom, I feel bad for her because it doesn't even seem like she knew what was going on. She was just lost, asking why would someone try to murk her son on the news. But when you see his digital footprint and the way the people around him were so willing to crash, it only paints a more painful picture to the state of the community around him. This death has ended a chapter in a wild book, but it really leaves us with more questions and answers. Police were able to locate a white Jeep SUV that was used in the shooting earlier today, so it seems they might be able to find the culprits pretty quickly. It seems because this is such a high-profile shooting, the city has no choice but to try to solve it, and it seems like they already have picked someone up for the shooting. It hasn't been announced on the news, but rumors began to spread that M24 affiliate C-Baby22 had been arrested. It would make sense. Bro got a whole highlight reel on IG showing Noah and dissing him in every single post, also posting a tribute to the fallen YNG Cheese, which only added even more speculation on what could have gone down. But you know it's Philly, and people just be claiming wreck and not even doing it. So honestly, like, you might know the person allegedly who did it, but it's like, that doesn't mean that person, did it. I wouldn't say that they went and did it, because why would you, in your right mind, post this on social media just for people to see? I mean, there are people that are just that fried, that be just posting stuff, and I really pity them, because you gotta be a complete, you really just gotta not care about life at all if you really posting stuff that you just did. But at the end of the day, we might not know right now, but I think that they're probably gonna find out regardless of who did it. And I'm not saying necessarily that it was even into 4 members that did it. It could have been something completely different. People be having all the time in the day to beef with multiple people. And bro apparently had 4 hats. That's what people are saying right now. So at the end of the day, we really don't know. It could have been anyone. But it's a crazy story. And if he really was tied into the people that murked YG Cheese, or if he was the person that did it himself, that would be even crazier. And it honestly makes me wonder too, what exactly does that mean for Gilly the Kid, especially with such a high profile shooting as this being posted on TMZ? Is crazy, man. But hey, let me know in the comments what y'all think, man. Real safe.
Dang. Shorty was a certified killer. Dang. That shit fucked up. Them boys going crazy up Philly, man. Listen, man, I just had to tap in, y'all, because I was in here early, man. Hit that notification button. Hey, what's up? Hit that notification button. Hit that subscribe button. Drop a like. Leave a comment. No fuck shit. No fake shit. No foolishness. Anything you say can and will be used against you on the internet. Raw Dope Podcast.